Okay, hi, welcome. This is going to be a pick a card reading. First of all, welcome back to my channel, Magu Universe. I am Magu, your host and your reader, and this is just going to be a quick fun reading. A pick a card for you. What is the next step in your journey? Whether it's anything in your life, it could be anything. It could be I said journey overall, just to generalize it a bit. It could be work, it could be school, it could be anything. We have piles 1, 2, and 3 for today. No more. If you hear anything crazy in the background, like a train or anything, I apologize in advance. If you do like this video, do subscribe and support your girl. And yeah, we're just gonna jump right in. So we have pile 1 with this citrine stone right over here. This one's super pretty. I really like how clear it is on the inside and how it has these white spots. Not every citrine stone is like this, but this one I've had for a really long time. It cleanses the energy overall, and we're gonna get into the piles afterwards. So if you feel like this is your energy, this is like what your overall vibe is, then that's for you. Then we have pile 2 that I assigned with the Amethyst. This one's very intricate. It has a lot of stripes, almost as if it would be an agate of some sort if it'd be cut in half. I'm not sure why I just thought of that, but I think it's really pretty. And this one's polished, unlike these two. And we have pile 3, and I believe this is a Lapis. So you could vaguely see these little like gold pieces on the inside, gold looking sparklies. And it's a stone rock lapis. So that is that. In each pile overall, I will be covering your overall energy. In the beginning of each pile, if you still feel like that's not your group and you feel more drawn to another group, feel free to do so and skip ahead in the video or backwards if you choose one pile or the other, whatever. But yeah, go ahead and choose your pile. Hello, pile 1, welcome. If this is the pile that you chose, assuming you're here, then hi, I welcome you with love. I do want to, like I said earlier, if you didn't go through the introduction completely, I'm going to be covering your overall energy. So I have a couple, I have a tarot card in there, and I have a couple oracle cards in there just to overall cover the energy. So you chose the citrine stone. Just gonna be chilling on the side. And your first card that popped out from the cat tarot deck, I think that's the 3 of Cups in reverse. You have the Philosopher's Stone from the Modern Nirvana Oracle. I don't even know how to say that. I'm not even going to try. This card. Resistance. I am not going to take this oracle in reverse. I don't really like taking these oracle. The Starseed Oracle, this is the last card. I'm going to take it upright. It says, forge, don't follow. Pave a new path, be the leader you wish you had. Pile 1. It seems to be that there's, ironically, a lot of resistance. Yes, there's a lot of resistance when it comes to the energy and when it comes to choosing what you want. But we're gonna get into that later. Your overall energy feels a little bit stagnant, but it feels as though you have the tools in front of you, just not completely taking a step forward. I do feel like there's some jealousy. I felt some jealousy from this card. It could be just something specific. I do think that you For some of you, you may be in a creative field. Okay, Miss Magoo should have edited that out, but I don't really like taking. I know if you watch other readers, I'm sure you're relevant with the idea of taking outside sounds and different synchronicities part of the reading if they feel relevant. But the train happens so often, I'm not really going to take it unless you feel it is so significant for you. But there's that. Moving forward, if you do feel like it is significant, there is a feeling of needing to move forward, and I do feel like you are being pressured in this time. However, I think due to this creative endeavor that you are having, this pressure of creating something new. So it could be either you're creating something new, or it could be literally creating, like through a creative endeavor, or just specific things. I don't know why I said or. I'm sure there's another path. So pave a new path overall. Can you see that card? I really hope you can. Yeah, you can. Okay. I just wanted to check. I didn't want to be out of frame for some reason. But there's some jealousy. I feel like for some of you, there's stagnancy due to comparing yourself to other people and therefore having a rough time moving forward. I do think that you have a completion coming, and there is this finishing point in your life that you're having a hard time letting go. I do think that you had a hard time in life, if for some of you that resonates. But specifically your energy right now, I think you're just kind of exhausted and jealous that other people seem to have it easier. Just overall a feeling of, I quote unquote, I don't know if I can do this because X, Y, and Z. And I think you can. I think you know you can. There's just a lot of just pressure. And I'm sure, I feel like you communicate with the universe a lot. If you don't, then I think you could be having a lot of synchronicities in your life from the universe. We're talking with the universe, we're doing a reading here. So you're watching a tarot reading. I will be talking about the universe and spirit a lot. Because typically that is what controls this reading. That's spirit and the universe usually directly communicating with you. So I feel like you've been seeing a lot of synchronicities, maybe specific letters or words. I don't know about animals, but I think letters and words specifically are coming to mind. I don't know about numbers either. Sometimes numbers though. Green looks to be very significant. I think you can feel much more yourself if you try wearing the color green more often. Green overall is like a healing color. It is, if I'm not wrong, I think it is connected with the heart chakra. It's going with the flow, feeling very pressurized. Is there anything else here, Spirit? In relation to the citrine, I think a factor that is causing you not to move forward into your life, into this new change that you have been presented in front of yourself, I think the struggle has been coming from the idea that you need to be cleansed first, the idea that you need to start with the new clean slate of yourself. You need to be completely changed, a completely different person to live the life that you are desiring or forced to move into. I don't want to say that you're forced into it, but it almost feels physically, emotionally that you're being forced due to this pressure. And I do think that you have this desire to push yourself into this quickly. However, what is stopping you is feeling that you need this clean slate. And something that I want to tell you is changes are usually very ugly. Sometimes they're very pretty, but most of the time they're not very pretty and they can get very messy. Different things can happen when things change in life. So, expecting a very perfect state of yourself compared to who you feel you are right now in order to step into this new version of yourself and this life that you're desiring through this creative endeavor. It could be a job. I am not entirely sure what this specifically could be. Overall, there's something new happening. There's something new waiting for you. And there's fear and there's jealousy. And because of that jealousy, I think you're being very self-aware. And you are very self-aware. I do think that you plan things out a lot. I think you really are a planner. You like to have things how things are very specific, like this way, this way, this way, not any other way, because things can make you very overstimulated and anxious very easily. I think this card actually contradicts that idea because everything is very organized. And then over here, this new change that you're moving into. Universe is presenting your energy to me, or overall, whatever your energy is allowing yourself to be presented towards me, to allow you to be read by me. It's just looking forward and looking into the future instead of how you are feeling. But overall, there is resistance. I do feel like I kind of stepped over a little bit and pushed into what's next for you. However, it's more of a desire for that. It's more of a vision, consistent vision, wanting this. I want to get there. I want to get there. But it needs to be this way before I change. It needs to be this way. And this is, I love this oracle deck, but it already just, it presents what you want for your next step very easily, and it just goes here. This is the future, and it's very clear cut. These cards really show things very clear and cut, and I love that. However, it is very important, in my opinion, to recognize how you are feeling right now and recognize the need for perfection and allow yourself to feel safe in that. I'm not sure what this jealousy is, other than comparing yourself to others. I think there is a specific person that could be, due to a very distinct cat. I think this is considered a calico. Usually these types of cats aren't presented as often as other species of cats. I don't know if they're not species. Their whole race and everything. But you are yourself. You don't need to compare yourself to other people. It's just tightness that I'm feeling overall. And I really just want to move into what's next for you, because I think it's just a constant push. I'm constantly feeling just pushing towards, oh, I want to tell you what to do. But really what's important for you is to recognize how you feel. And I know I sound like a broken record, but in order Yeah, we're gonna move in. Yeah, we're gonna just move into what is your next step. How to get out of this tightness. I already pre-shuffled these cards. Um, so every deck has something different. Every deck, every group has something different. And I don't want to. They're just pre-shuffled and clean. So we have, I think that's the of Swords. The next step for pile 1. What is the next step for pile 1? I want to see if I can move these down, if you can see the cards still. Yeah, you can. Really well. Good, good. Okay. I think, my friend, you need to step out of your comfort zone. And I think that was already presented through this Forge Don't Follow. I think the comfort zone for you could be to do what other people have already done, because you've seen the outcome and therefore you are like, okay, I know this is successful because I've seen them become successful, or whatever. But let's say you're going towards something that is more independent. Even though you see all these successful people claiming that they have become successful through various methods, you still are in fear due to it being out of your comfort zone. It is not always confirmed that you become or not become successful. Everything takes hard work. Everything takes hard work. And I think that's what the universe is warning you for. Not really warning you, but it's more pushing you towards something. There's like a dance of this tension where you're resisting and the universe is just pushing. And the more you pull away, the more the universe kind of just goes, here you go, here you go. And you're just like, no, yes. I know at some point you're going to be cornered and you're going to be doing what you really want to do because the universe knows what's best for you. And you wanted this entire time. I'm confused now. It's okay. I just like, I'm confused. I confuse myself because I have my piles arranged. It looks like, I think if you feel you resonate with pile 2 a little bit, I would recommend watching that one as well, and skipping ahead. However, to explain what happened, I pre-shuffled these cards, right? And I believe this deck was initially aligned for pile 2, but I just unconsciously grabbed whatever was meant for you guys, as it should be. There is no mistakes when it comes to tarot. It is what it is, and you're gonna hear what you're meant to hear. That's why I say if you feel you are resonating with pile 2, do so. If not, then it's totally fine. We're just gonna move forward. This card is standing out for me, and this one as well. I think there is a form of boundaries that need to be stated. I also think you need to be more generous towards yourself and generous towards others genuinely without expecting anything much from there. I know those are all just different contradictory messages, but my point is, whenever you feel the need or want to express generosity, to do so out of pure genuine interest and forward emotion, not to do it due to a need for acceptance or praise or anything, just to do it for yourself because it feels good for you. that it is time to move forward and not to be stagnant. I do think that you are mellowing a little bit in the past, and fear from the past is kind of eroding your current state and not necessarily your future, but it is eroding your current state. And I think we already saw that earlier from your energy. It's this fear that's causing the resistance, and therefore the resistance, if you don't allow yourself to move forward. It's less about moving forward, but you have to allow yourself to move forward. That's the key word here. You have to allow yourself, give yourself the permission to let go of the past and any fear that you may be holding on to in order to move forward. It's less about me telling you, or the universe is telling you, you have to move forward. This is your time to move forward. You have a completion that you have completed. It's less about that. It's less about, here, this is what you gotta do. It's more about let go. Let go, and you will move forward because you will naturally want to push there. But you have to gravitate towards it. You cannot, the universe is saying, forcing your way through into the success that is distinguished and aligned specifically for you. You can't just force your way through without looking at your surroundings. You have to just gravitate yourself towards there, like a magnet. Attract it, literally attract it. Attract yourself towards this, and it will attract itself towards you. Just let yourself flow towards it, like water. In the situation of giving you advice and what the next step is that is more materialistic doesn't seem very helpful with so far the advice that I'm giving you. I think it is more of a mental shift, more metaphysical shift that you need to create for yourself in order to move forward into this next step of your endeavor. So the resistance and fear that is I don't know the best word to align. I want to say a sign. I don't know why, but I wonder if that has something to do with signing a contract. I keep hearing a sign, a line, a sign, a line, and I really wonder if that has something to do with signing a contract. And if so, that could be something that can help you move forward. It could be something that may force you to put yourself in this state of flow where you have these different responsibilities and such. I don't know if you might have to let go of a specific group of people or idea. Definitely creative endeavor. There's a lot of creativity happening here. It is, yeah, either there's a couple of things when it comes to the Seven of Swords. There could be some sort of pain that could be happening in regards to a person, individuals in general, or even a thing or an ideal that you could be holding on to. An ideal, which I mean like a thought or something more mental that you could be holding on to. I think that could be a little bit painful, and the universe is saying you have to just kind of ditch it. Another thing that comes up is in order to move forward more successfully, like your next step after doing such and letting yourself go is the first step. The second step, it's like you have a couple things to do before you actually just like open the door and actually like let yourself free into this new journey. It's like the new chapter. It's like the prequel. So you guys could be readers. I don't know if you do read or not. I wonder if you could be distracting yourself through playing specific games or maybe through reading, and you're at a chapter in this activity or reading or whatever it is. But there's a plan that you are obviously, like, I can tell that you are more of a planner, and you need things to be written down and just arranged very specifically, and you just see it, the future, easier that way. If that helps you move forward, the universe is encouraging that, actually, which is a little bit contradictory because, like, the universe wants you to just flow. But there is this idea where in order to stop thinking about things that you have to do, to just write them down. And it's more based on this idea that you are recommended to do is to just write down your plan. Write it down and then just let it go. Not completely, of course, but just let it go in a way where you don't have to think about it as much and be obsessing over it so much. Just to have a mental grasp of, this is what you're working towards. These are my worries. These are specifically what I would do is, these are my worries. This is what I have to do, and this is what I'm striving towards, and whatever else comes through, just list everything down. And from that, a plan will emerge. It'll be easier for you to actually see yourself manifest this future of yours. Interestingly, I do think that there is only one path for you. The universe is saying to stop searching for different paths because there is only one path for you, and it's one that you create. There is no deciding, oh, should I do this or should I do that? You know what you want to do. That is what you're meant to do. Stop overthinking about it. Easier said than done, of course, but this is me trying to encourage you to recognize the fact that you have your own unique path that you are creating. Forge, don't follow. And this, usually the Two of Pentacles is more of a balance, more of deciding for me. So I just think that there is it's the same idea. Let go of the idea that you need to compare yourself to other people in order to be perfect in some way. I think that can be very damaging towards your own process of moving forward. I do also think that the universe is reminding you that this entire process will take a lot of work and it's not going to be easy. However, they are holding your hand throughout this entire process, and they want you to know that they are there for you. There will be a lot of things that you need to let go of, however, first, before you even take that first step towards change overall. I also think that you should be getting a lot of sleep. Allow yourself to rest a bit more because the world is not going to run away from you as easy it is to think that it will, because we are living in a constant rush of a world that we have so many things to do and things to complete overall. You need to recognize, no, I just got very sleepy overall, and I'm just like yawning. I don't usually get sleepy, especially at this time. I'm very hyper, and I slept enough, so there's no reason to be sleepy for myself. I do think, however, if you resonate, to get some sleep. Overall, sleep is very good for your mental health. It'll allow you to clear up your mind. If you get more sleep more often, just a consistency of that, getting that enough amount of sleep will be able to be more helpful towards your thought process and strategize your plan and what you want to do. Because this is your future. This isn't anyone else's future, it's yours. You are the one creating this. You are the one that is creating your own master plan, your own world. And there shouldn't be anyone that should be telling you how to or anything, only if it benefits you. Once you start comparing yourself to them, it can become hurtful. But the only time you can take someone's advice and look up to someone is if you're generally looking up to them, but not in a comparing sense, if that makes sense. The feeling is different. It's less of jealousy and more of aspiration. It inspires you. You want to look up to someone that actually inspires you to move towards your own calling. This image is just very aggressive for some reason to me, and I think I don't know why, but I think there might be it just keeps going back to needing, maybe you need to grieve yourself or just grieve in general. I don't know if you have anything that happened. We're not really going to talk about that. But overall, just the feeling of grieving and allowing yourself to grieve before you move on to the next project. If, you know, in the example that you should be allowing yourself to grieve your past self, allow yourself to forgive yourself for who you were in the past, because the only reason things were the way they were is because you were just trying to protect yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that. The universe aligns things the way they should and protects you through that. And this image just keeps on making me think that he's gonna just shove the stick into the ground. I do think that you need to set some boundaries with some people and mainly yourself. I think there could be something that you are allowing yourself to do. Not necessarily with discipline. It's not a form of discipline. It is more specifically a mental issue. Not issue. I hope you know what I mean. The mental pattern that can be causing your thoughts and your day-to-day life to be a little bit more frustrating and rough, because your mind is going through specific thought patterns that can be actually harming you than doing you more good. But in order to move forward from that, you need to forgive yourself and allow yourself to be forgiven, because that thought pattern and that old version of you was just trying to protect you. Overall, in order to move forward, you have to let go. Recognize what you don't need, what is not serving you. Even though other people say that it is serving you, if it's truly harming you instead of helping you, it is not serving you. And yeah. Pile 1, this was a joy. Thank you so much for letting me read your cards. I will be moving on to pile 2. If you do have any questions, I encourage you to ask them in the comments. I also have Instagram that I recommend you guys to look over and follow me there. I also have Pinterest. It should be linked in my bio as well. Do comment, do subscribe, and support me in ways that would be such gratitude towards me. I will be so grateful for you guys. I am grateful for you guys. Those that are here. You are the real ones. But yeah, thank you so much. and you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will be moving on to the next pile. And yeah, if you're leaving me here, then have a great day. Bye. Hello, pile 2. Welcome to your reading. If you chose, obviously you chose this pile based on the energy, maybe based on the crystal, based on the cards, whatever way it was arranged, it just brought you here. Welcome. I'm happy to have you here, and I'm very excited for this reading. Overall, if you haven't looked into the intro, I will be saying this throughout the piles. I will be starting with your overall energy, and I'll be trying my best not to move on to the reading, which will be explaining what will be the next step in your journey of life overall. So yeah, this will be your energy, and you chose the amethyst. I really love this crystal. I really do. It's one of my favorites. We have the moon. We have awareness. Very fourth energy. Forthcoming, whichever way you want to describe that. So we have the moon, the awareness, we have the boat in reverse. I don't always take oracles in reverse, so just bear with me. And then we have the whale and orca elders. This one I'm not actually gonna take in reverse in any circumstance. So the whale and orca elders, we have pile 2. There appears to be a choice. There is a feeling of choice. Similarly to pile 1, if you do feel you were drawn to pile 1, I recommend. But regardless, I think that your energy is very forthcoming. You know what you want. You have your boundaries. You know exactly what you want. And you have a very specific aesthetic. And you don't let anyone in. Don't let anyone in your boat, I guess. I do think there could be a little bit of manipulation, but not in such a crazy bad way. Don't take that as offense, but I do think that you have mastered the mind, like, very well. It's just thought and the way the world works, and you know how to communicate with people in order to get what you want. You know how to work with the world in order to get what you want. You know the game, basically. You know the game, you know how to play the game. You're walking down this path, and you are creating your own path because of it, overall. I do think that you have a really, overall, the first card, I should have said this the first thing, pile 2. The moon came out. It's a very strong intuition, awareness, right up that alley. I do think that I think you are, ironically, you could be like a leader of the pack, so you have like very leadership qualities. You could have just a very big group of people that follow you, or a really good friend group, or a leader in some way, just seen as a more authoritative figure, someone that can trust. You're just someone that people can trust, and they know that because of how much you know, basically. The moon, like I said, a lot of intuition. I think you just know. I don't think it's a clairvoyance. It could be clairvoyance. I'm not entirely knowledgeable, but there's a clairs, and I think the one of knowing and seeing is one of the main ones that you have. You're just a very strong individual. I feel like a lot of people are intimidated by you, and I think you could push them away from that. I think because of that intimidation that people sense, they can be a little bit fearful of you. That's just what I'm feeling. It's this strength that not everyone is used to. Usually people would prefer to see a more vulnerable side to an individual, and you don't present your vulnerable side to an individual at first first thought, first talk, first sight, whatever it may be. Just the first connection. And if you are visibly vulnerable with an individual, I think they still have a lot of respect for you. You're just an overall very respected individual. And the whale, orca, those are very big mammals. Let's just say that. I think that should be just mentioned first thing. And orcas are very dangerous, and they look very playful. They know a lot of things, and those are very smart animals. But orcas are very dangerous. I feel like when people don't know you, you tend to state that boundary with them very quickly. Overall, with individuals that you meet, you state that boundary kind of subconsciously with them by just expressing yourself the way you express yourself with people, how you present yourself and such. I think you could have a bit of a more feminine quality to yourself. And if you do find yourself more of a masculine energy, which is very possible, very, very possible, you still come off as this very, I don't want to say aggressive, but very strong, intimidating individual. But has the energy and is capable of holding energy that is more feminine and gentle and vulnerable. However, there's a lot of boundaries that are just stated immediately. Based on this lobster, you could be either a Scorpio or Cancer. I say Cancer. It's more of the water signs. You state your boundaries. You are very emotional, but not overreactive. You just know. It's just that simple. You're very connected with the universe. I think that should be said immediately. And I think that's very obvious that you are very connected with the universe. You are able to contemplate different things and emotions and thoughts, situations, whatever happens throughout your life, you're able to contemplate them and understand the purpose and reasoning of them. You're able to use what you have in your life presented in front of you and communicate with the universe to recognize what it is purpose is for. You're able to use it as a resource, and thus you're able to grow. You're able to understand things more that way. You have stated your ground. You're a very strong, resilient person that stands their ground and only allows certain people into their boat. I think that, I do think you're more of a dreamer, I do. With all this water energy, I do think that you think a lot and you're in your head a lot. You just come off as a very powerful individual. There's not much coming through. It's not a lot of chatter. Usually I hear a lot of chatter, but you just come off as a very calm and collected individual. You're very reliable and grounded. Almost everyone is looking up to you because they want to be like you. But you are not allowing yourself to be manipulated, to be created into something you're not, just for the satisfaction of someone else, to create themselves into something that you are kind of like. It's like this and no other way. It's like this, and that's it. It's very fitting with the amethyst, because the amethyst is a more of a crystal that's connected with the universe, is able to open yourself up to spirituality. It's very connected. It's higher frequencies. I do think you are more of a night owl. That is something that I do see here. There's 2 moons presented, and there's a lot of darkness and a lot of blue hues. You're just a very peaceful person. I feel like everyone wants to be around you, and that can get really frustrating because you're trying to protect your energy, and there's just all these people trying to understand you, trying to what is it that you do? It's like, I don't know, this came up to me just now, but you know, with all those influencers having just minding their own business, and then you have comments saying, what are you wearing, what's your skincare routine, you know? That's basically, I feel like, how you feel with your encounter with, I feel like, new people specifically, because I feel like with, okay, the first pile had a bit more cards than you did, but I think it's very fitting, and I think there's a bit of synchronicity that we see here immediately. There's 4. I pre-shuffled, and I didn't specifically pull out any specific amount of cards, so there shouldn't be any like, oh, one pile got more than the other. It just came out how it came out, and if one did have more, one had more. Anyway, 4 cards, and then 4 tarot cards. For me, that is the symbol of love. That is your angels saying they love you. And to just one message that we're just going to step into a little bit when it comes to the next step of your journey. Allow yourself to feel loved, and your angels certainly love you very much. Your guides, everyone that you're connecting with, communicating with in the other realms, and those that look up to you, those that genuinely care for you. I do think there's a specific message for some of you, that those that care for you, one more time, your guides will present to you those that care for you the most, and will help you remove of those individuals that you may not need to be so skeptical about, so that you don't need to be skeptical anymore. You don't have to worry anymore, because your universe, the universe, the spirit, your spirit has your back. They will take care of things. Your angels will take care of the bad people in your life. You don't have to be skeptical anymore. That's like a very specific message that came out. So 5 of Cups. And we're gonna move these up. 5 of Cups. Temperance in reverse. Queen of Cups in reverse. And the 9 of Wands. You are closing a deal. You're closing a cycle as well. You're closing up something, an ideal, something that's happening in your life. I do think that you're looking back at things that maybe did not happen, maybe you were hoping to happen, maybe you were looking at previous potential endeavors that you did not pursue and did not happen. The universe wants you to recognize, and your next step is to recognize what you do have. Don't look into the negative things that are in your life and focusing so much on removing those negatives so badly. Because the universe wants to help you with that, is what I'm hearing. The universe wants to help you remove those negative parts in your life. You're doing amazing. You're doing amazing. Genuinely, I want you to know that you're doing really, really good. And part of what your next step is in your journey is to express yourself a little bit more. Express your love. Express yourself. You can still be having those boundaries that you have. You don't need to, remove those boundaries. That's not what we're saying. We're not saying you need to remove your boundaries. You need to open up yourself more, let yourself be too vulnerable, and let yourself get hurt. That's not what we're saying. We're just saying open up yourself, your true self. The right people will come. The right people will come, and those that are not meant for you will leave or will be removed by the universe. Recognize, and I feel like you already do, that things happen for a reason, and whatever happens is meant to happen for a reason. I don't want to say you've been playing God. That's not the right term. It's more of a control that you've been trying to have over your life, and it's a very aggressive grasp that you're having over your own life through this knowing, through this connection with the universe, through knowing who's bad, who's good, what's bad, what's good, what your purpose is. Just a lot of thinking, and I think because of that, there's not a lot of flow. There's a little bit of rigidity, if that's the best way to describe it. There's just a rigid state, and I think that's not allowing yourself to move forward. It's very similar to pile 1. I'm not forcing you or anything to move and watch that video, but it's only if you feel like you are meant to. Maybe there could be some messages that are meant for you. Overall, there is an imbalance, and it seems to be this imbalance comes from the rigidity and nothing more. It comes from, actually, there's a little bit of a focus towards the negativity, the need and impulse to control things, and that could be a little bit imbalancing towards yourself and harmful actually towards yourself, instead of just letting yourself flow. I think the advice here is to flow. Allow yourself to flow. There is I think a requirement actually to look into your feminine energy. Although usually intuition and being connected with the universe and just connection in general is very feminine, I think there needs to be less control, and I think the control comes from this masculine energy. And I do think that the next step overall needs to be just a flow state, this allowing yourself to be a little bit more vulnerable in your process when you're living your day-to-day life and moving towards your desires and goals with, I think, growing your spirituality overall. You are currently growing when it comes to your spirituality, and you're doing amazing, and you have moved so far. However, there's a lot of control, like I said, and I think due to this control and not letting yourself flow, there could be this resentment, and the universe is saying not to resent things that have not happened or were not meant to happen. Trust in the universe a little bit more to allow yourself to let go of it, and just be a little bit more vulnerable with yourself, with people. Trust that you are safe. You don't need to prove yourself or anything to anyone. You are proven to the universe that you are an amazing being that has a lot of power. And the universe wants to acknowledge that power for you, to know that you are very powerful and you are very thoughtful and full of knowing. The universe wants to help you keep improving that. However, without I was sitting on my hands. Without allowing yourself to flow and be vulnerable, you won't be able to do this completion. And you're just so close to finishing this project of yours, which I think most likely could have to do with spirituality. But if it is something else, it is something that you have been focusing on for a very long time, and you've been working on it for a very long time, and you're just almost finished with it. And you're so focused on making it perfect that you're not letting yourself be creative with it. You're at a position right now where the universe is having you rethink and look over what you have created so far, just to have you acknowledge yourself. The universe has your back. The universe is creating things in such a way that some things you just cannot control. And the universe wants you to recognize that not everything is in your control. And what is meant for you will happen for you, even if it has to be forcing you to be vulnerable in your life, just so you can experience life a little bit more joyfully. Even though this project of yours, this creative endeavor of yours, brings you a lot of joy, it may not be very helpful when you're just trying to control every single little detail just to make it perfect. And even if it is perfect, will you be proud of the work you've created? I think you know all this. I think that's why I don't have much else to say. This reading may be a little bit shorter, not because of the cards. The cards have a lot to say, but it's just more of a repeat, consistent repeat, just for you to open up, allow yourself to be vulnerable. And if you don't, the universe will help you do that. And that's the kindest way I can say it from the universe. Love the universe. XOXO. But yeah, you don't need to be resentful over things that have not happened, because things happen for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. The way things are arranged in life, everything is divine timing. So even if you contemplate over and over a choice that you could have taken to make something better, to make yourself better, would things be better? Things are the best it is with the choice you made. There's no going back, because what the choice that you are in is the best you got so far. And there are new things coming, and instead of looking back, you have to move forward with vulnerability, with an open mind. And I know you have that open mind, but it won't help if you're going to try to control every single little outcome. That's not very open-minded. Sorry, I came out a little bit lecturing you, but that's just had to be said. There's not much that I have for you, truthfully. Just know that overall your next step is in the universe's hands. Everything that you have created is perfect in its own way, because you created it. It is your own creation and no one else's. You do not need to prove yourself in any other way. Just what you need to focus on is to be more vulnerable while keeping your boundaries. Be kinder to yourself. And once you become kinder to yourself, you'll be able to be that vulnerable individual. I'm sure you've seen synchronicities. What we see is 444. 444 could be something. Change. Mostly completion, less change. There's just a lot of completion energy. You have to let yourself flow. You have to be like a whale, an orca, playful but dangerous. I love you guys very much, and thank you so much for letting me read your cards. This was lovely. I appreciate the time that you allowed me to have with you. If you enjoyed this reading, do support me in any way you can. Subscribe, like. If you have any questions, comment below, or just comment in general. Say hi. You can follow me. I have Instagram, I have Pinterest, and that should be it. So thank you so much once again, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And if you're leaving me here, then you're free to go. You have a great day, and I will just be moving on to the next group. Bye. Hello, pile 3. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I see you chose the Lapis. This one's honestly really pretty, despite, it being a rock. That is not sarcasm. I don't usually use sarcasm, so please just throw that out the window. I'm being genuine. Recognize the beauty within you. This is just like one message. Recognize the beauty within you, because not everyone will see it, and those that will see it will recognize your value. That's just something that I had to say. Okay, we're gonna set this bad boy here. Have him chill. I don't know. Whichever way he needs to face. And actually, I'm feeling very hyper. You could be a very hyper person. I'm just feeling very hyper right now. What was I gonna say? I say this throughout all my piles, but if you did not watch the intro all the way, I wanted to explain that I will be reading your overall energy with a tarot card and some oracles. And then we'll be moving into what your next step will be with a few tarot cards that I have pre-shuffled. So yeah, let's just jump in. Nice to have you here. I'm so excited. I love that. I love that. Oh my god. No bias, but I love you, pile 3. You guys have some amazing energy. Just so much love for everyone. Wow. You know what's up. You're very similar in regards to pile 2, only when in regards to the intuition. You're very connected with spirit, with this rebirth and mother nature. I got hyper, and it says slow down. That's crazy. I just love when that's like synchronizes and it like agrees, and it's like, yeah, you're not crazy. That is the energy you're feeling. Just typical tarot readers' thoughts. Anyway, I don't know the proper term for this tarot card, but the energy overall, very good energy, very loving energy. I feel like you just want to have your heart out to everyone and take care of everyone all at once. You see the pain in people, and I think because of that you want to just fix things. I'm so sorry about that. We're just gonna move on. I apologize for any background noise that you might be hearing right now. You might, but if you don't, I'm very grateful. But if you do, I'm really sorry. But moving on. First of all, I do see that you take what is meant for you, and you have that love, and you're able to recharge. I see a very healed. I don't want to say healed because none of us are really healed. You could be actually resonating with this rose quartz as well. There's just a lot of pink and love. And the lapis is just manifesting and creation, magic, just wonder and beauty. I love it. I love it so much. I just love the energy here. It's so much recreation. You're creating things all the time and completing these projects and creating things. I actually wonder if there is for some of you, you could be starting projects and not finishing them, and you just feel completed with whatever you just did and you just move on to something else. And there's a little bit of impatience with this energy here. I do think that you always have energy left over to give to others. There's just a lot of love, and just openness and understanding for the world, and recognizing things how they are. May could be very significant for you. I also think for some of you, you could be expecting something. Not referencing with May. I just think that based off of the way the cat is looking at compassion, I wonder if there's some sort of expected gesture, which could be moving on to what we need to talk about later. And overall, there's just a lot of energy. You seem like just a very loving person, regardless of any flaws you have. We all have our flaws, and you certainly are someone that's like, how can an individual not love you, you know? How can you not love this cat? It's just so cute, even though they want more food. I do think you're very stubborn, though. Impatient, a little bit stubborn, and expecting something in return. Just something small, something specific. However, you're very understanding. You give back to yourself, and you are very generous. I just feel very generous energy. I think you have a very wealthy mindset as well. You're very open-minded. May could be very significant. I'm not sure if Europe specifically, maybe travel. I don't know if that's on your agenda. Even though we have the bridge. I don't know what bridge that is. I don't know if it's... Yeah, we're just gonna move on, because I'm not... It could be any bridge. It could be any bridge. Any red bridge. But some sort of expectation. I think it could be in reference to the amount of energy that you're giving. You're giving, and you could be expecting something back. But in general, there could be something you're expecting. Just in general. I don't think you're a selfish person at all. I do think people might think you are selfish. But I don't think you are selfish. I think you're very loving, and you are very understanding. And I don't know if ADHD could be any relevance towards you. But if not, then just let that go completely. There's just a lot of hyperness, very hyper energy. We have 4 cards. It's a lot of love. 1, we have, is this the 10 of Wands? Four of Wands, I'm stupid. 7 of Cups. 4 of Wands, yeah, once again, love. Love and creation, and I think you're taking a break from something, or you should be expected to take a break from something. Actually, there's just so many messages. I think there's a large group of you that might have chosen pile 3. Some of you may be expecting some sort of event to occur. There's a lot of choices happening. There's a choice. Just choice in general. There's something that you might need to think about and not overcomplicate it, just like think through and recognize its purpose. I just lost whatever I wanted to say, so I think it wasn't meant to be said. Queen of Swords in reverse. I do think that the universe wants you to be a little bit more grounded. I think the hyper feelings and what am I trying to say? Allow yourself to grasp onto nature. And I think nature allows yourself to be the most compassionate and most grounded to yourself as an individual, as you are in your own natural state. As just an overall compassionate person, I think nature will help you align to yourself even more. And just, there's nothing wrong, like there's not in the sense of healing, but it can be towards healing. I think the stubbornness could be why you may not be very grounded and open-minded to things and the way things are. However, I do think you do recognize the way things are. You're very loving and open to that as a result. There's just a lot of impatient energy. And the universe is saying there needs to be a balance. There needs to be a balance of bringing your energy back to yourself. It's like you're returning back to yourself. You're returning the energy back to yourself. I'm repeating myself a lot. It's just come back down from the clouds, basically. So yeah, I know you see the ground, and I know you know what the ground is like. I know how you know what the ground feels like, but you need to feel the ground. You need to. It's like telling a child to eat their vegetables, even though the child is saying that they will eventually eat their vegetables. No, you need to eat your vegetables now. That's just the energy that I'm getting from the universe. That's like the next step, is just recognizing what you need to do right now. Basic things in order to heal, to return to thyself, and try not to expect things. I think you might ruin things for yourself. We're not going to say it because I don't want to ruin anything, but just don't expect anything. I think that might ruin things. But I was going to say, the Four of Wands, it is a beginning. Actually, I think you're taking a break from something, like I said earlier. I think the universe is saying not to take too long of a break because they are worried. Not necessarily worried, but I think you may lose yourself in this resting period. The energy is just so very, not aggressive, but very forthcoming as well. There's a lot of energy that is being presented here. And in order to work through with yourself and grow as an individual and move forward in the next step in your journey, and your journey here, from what I am seeing, is just overall growth. Whatever project or anything that you may be working on, it could be just growing as an individual, and that just could be your journey for now. Taking a break from that may actually harm you, and you may forget what you need to do in order to take that next step. It is okay to take breaks. However, not for too long. There's something in regards to urgency from the universe is just screaming urgency. Please choose something, choose your path, choose what you want to do, just to be a little bit more dominant in your life. The universe has great things planned for you, and if you're not dominant in your life, the universe will struggle to bring you the gifts that they have for you. And I think there's a lot of things that I want to say, but I think the universe does not want me to say, because overall, all you need to know is that there's something coming, and if you don't prepare for it, urgency, police in the background, if you do resonate with that, allow yourself to create yourself into the best version of yourself. But if you have the need to take a break from growing, then I feel like there could be a feeling of being someone you're not. If it's exhausting to become someone that you're not. Overall, it is exhausting. If you're trying to be someone you're not, it's exhausting because you're using energy just to present yourself in a way for others to see. You're using energy to present yourself. Overall, we use our energy to communicate and be with other people in general, but I think you're using twice as much energy if you're becoming someone you're not. And instead of growing and becoming something that you're looking up to, if the energy does not feel right and you feel depleted from trying to become whatever you're desiring, that may not be what is aligned for you. It needs to feel good. Overall, it needs to feel good. So overall, pile 3, what I would say the next step in your journey is to try not to be someone you're not in order to gain any sort of praise from anyone. I think you are encouraged to be yourself, and the universe loves the loving energy that you present to the world and for other people, and the understanding and the open-mindedness that you have. However, in order to become more dominant, which is recommended of you and required of you, the universe wants from you overall is to be a little bit more dominant in your own life and just stating your ground of what you want. So I think you're a little bit in the clouds a little bit too much, and the universe is having a hard time connecting with you. In regards of just moving forward, I do think that you hear the universe and you recognize the messages that are coming towards you. However, it could be that either you don't understand the messages or something else. Of course, don't take dominance as aggression, because that's not what's asked of you. That's not what your next step. You're not meant to be aggressive or anything. You're meant to continue being very loving and open-minded with other people. I see a lot of movement from you and a lot of energy. Overall, I think it can be very exhausting every day. And being asked to do something and you're expecting something in return, it all can be very exhausting just to use that energy every day and just to try to be loving. And overall, you're recommended, and actually, overall, dominance, a little bit more dominance in your life, and whichever way feels best for you, just to either state your boundaries, or just to align yourself with a specific calling. I do think that you have a calling. You have a very big calling from the universe that it seems to be that you're not hearing from the universe. And the universe actually wants you to not only be loving and compassionate and understanding just the way you are, this loving and happy attitude, just constant, genuine love that you have for other people. They really do see that you're growing and you're trying to grow, and they just want to push you forward a little bit more. Overall, I do see something happening. There's some sort of celebration that is not being revealed to you yet. I think the universe is asking me not to reveal that to you. It's a surprise. Don't get yourself too hyped up for you. Don't ruin it for yourself. Don't expect things in return. Let yourself flow. Focus on yourself a bit more. Not only loving other people, but love yourself. And appreciate yourself and how amazing you are. I think that could be the best way of approaching dominance in your life, is appreciating yourself. Yeah, pile 4. I'm sorry if this was short. I'm not sure if it was or not. But I thank you for letting me read your cards. This was lovely, and you're an amazing person. Just remember to take care of yourself, and remember you're amazing. Dream. But if you did enjoy this reading, if you enjoy me and my energy and you want to support me, I do recommend you subscribe. I do have Instagram and I have Pinterest that I have linked in my bio that I recommend you checking out later. I plan to be more active there, and yeah, like I said, subscribe in order to support me in any way. If you like this video, like and comment. If you have any questions, comment below or just say hi. And yeah, that should be it. You have a wonderful rest of your day, and thank you once again. Bye. See you in the next one.